So, a bit of a warning, today's video is going to start with a bit of a brag, but I'm going to brag about some other people rather than just myself, so hopefully you'll bear with me here. We had some really awesome news on Friday last week, and that is that the British Chiropractic Association have their annual Excellence Awards. There's three categories. There's the Clinic of the Year, which used to be Reception Team of the Year, which we won in 2018. There is the Chiropractor's Chiropractor, which I happened to win last year, which was lovely. And there's the New Chiropractor of the Year, which is specific for new graduates. I think you're only eligible if you've been out for 2, maybe 3 years, which Vina, one of our associates, actually won a couple of years ago as well. And I found out on Friday that 2 of the 3 finalists for the New Chiropractor of the Year are our team. Both James and Vicky, who've both come to join our practice within the last 12 months, made the final 3. 2 out of 3. That's incredible. I'm so proud of them. I'm so excited for this. I'm amazed because I know they had a lot of good other candidates as well. That 2 from the same practice made it through. But anyway, that's me done bragging. The reason I bring this up is I wanted to talk about what makes them such great candidates. Not just to puff them up, although they deserve that, and that's great. But also because I think there's something that you can learn from this, whether you are looking for an associate right now or you plan to shortly, or you are an associate or you're going to be one soon and you're a student, to see what it is that makes them so successful. And to me, I think there's 3 key things that have to happen if you are going to have a successful associate practitioner relationship and what is going to make a very successful practitioner in that role. And I'm going to go through these because we can all learn from these. The first one is work ethic. There is no way around this. If you want to be successful as an associate, I would say as a chiropractor, I say as most things in life, you have to be prepared to work hard. You can't be lazy. You can't be expecting to instantly have what you want. Both James and Vic, and really our entire team, have solid work ethic. That's one of the 2 things I actually look for when I'm hiring. I don't really care about their ability. I care on whether they're prepared to work hard. Because if they're not prepared to do that, they are going to plateau very quickly because they'll get comfortable, they might get good enough, busy enough, and they'll stop. And we have unfortunately had 1 or 2 people in our practice over the past 10, 15 years where that happened. We made a bad hire, we picked the wrong one. So you absolutely need work ethic. So if you are an associate, I would start really looking for ways that you can improve, you can grow. Start building that muscle now because it will make you much more valuable. And as a clinic owner, if you're looking for an associate, definitely look for some evidence that they have that solid work ethic because it's really key. The second one, and this is also something I look for when I'm interviewing, is coachability. Basically, can they take critical feedback? Yes, everybody loves to take praise, that's all wonderful, but can they take criticism and turn that into fuel to actually go and fuel that work ethic to grow? And again, both James and Vicky, that's 2 of their strengths, is that I can tell them, you're doing this really well, that bit needs to improve, and they will take it and go, right, I'm going to work on that. And that's really key. Those are really the only 2 things I care about most of all when I'm interviewing. There's other things that I look for, other smaller things, but if they've got work ethic and they've got coachability, like will they work hard and can they take a bit of an emotional blow when someone says you're not doing that well there and actually grow from that, then to be honest, we can overcome anything. If they don't have work ethic, they'll get lazy. If they don't have coachability, I can't help them. And again, a couple of people that we've had before who just couldn't take criticism, either got super defensive or got really hurt by it and couldn't actually take that to grow. Again, it leads to a lot of frustration. That doesn't work. So they both have this in spades, which is why they're doing really well, why they're both going to be fantastic practitioners in the future and actually are now. But then there's a third and final one, and this is where you as a clinic owner come in. And this is investment, because you have to invest in your associates and you have to invest seriously. Because if you don't do that, they can have all the coachability, they can have all the work ethic in the world, but if they're left on their own, they are being left to fail. Now, I look for those 2 things because I don't want to invest in somebody who doesn't have work ethic and is kind of lazy, and I don't want to invest in somebody who cannot handle when I say this needs to be improved. We need to raise the bar there. Because I can't really invest in them. It'd be a waste of time. But once I found them, I invest heavily. I invest as much of my time, as much of my energy as I can. And you can ask all my team, this is something that I really do with all of them there. It's very easy as a practice owner to go, oh yeah, well, I'll get them in and I'll help them get started. But they're here to try and take some of the stuff off my plate, right? They're here to help me out so I can have a little bit more free time, maybe a bit more time to work on the business, do other things. That absolutely makes sense. But if you're taking on a new practitioner to your practice, especially if they're a new graduate, you need to seriously invest in them, because this is not a criticism of the universities, but university cannot teach you to be a good chiropractor. There is not enough time. There is not enough practice. It takes, as we all know, a few years to find that out. But you can fast track that by investing in them. Now, yes, you can invest financially. You can offer a great big salary and hope that will attract more. If they're a more experienced practitioner, that might go for them. That might work for some. But for me, I choose to invest my time. I invest as much time in coaching and mentoring as I can, because I know that if they've got work ethic and coachability, that is a solid investment. I know that is an investment that is going to pay dividends. So I invest as much as I'm able to. And what that means is that not only do they do better, but they actually feel more supported. They actually feel like they're part of a team. They actually feel appreciated for who they are and not just a number. And that's vital. Because on the associate side of it, if they don't feel appreciated, if they don't feel supported, if they don't feel like they are a valued and important member of your team, then they are not going to invest back in the practice. It is not going to work well. And I've seen that work with many other practices and practitioners before. Very good clinic owners and very good associates, but unfortunately the investment wasn't there, and ultimately it didn't work. So if you're a clinic owner, those are two things to look when you're hiring: work ethic, coachability. And that's one thing you have to provide, is that investment in them. And again, it doesn't mean that you have to do all the work. You can hire somebody to help train them. Hello. Or whatever else the skill is there. You can do that. I send mine on adjusting seminars because I'm not great at teaching them that. I'll send them on needling seminars because I want them to do that. And I can't certify them in needling. So by all means, you can invest financially in them as well, but you also have to give them some of that time. And if you're an associate, really, really try to build your work ethic. That's a muscle. Some people have it, some people don't really have it, but everybody can improve there. So build that by just putting in more work than you need to, because it's growing your own character. It's actually investing back in yourself. And learn to take criticism. Don't immediately respond to some critical feedback with defensiveness or, well, this is why, it's not my fault. Like, I get it. I used to do that a lot myself when I was younger. But if you can learn to just hear it and go, okay, I'm going to go away and I'm going to think, maybe I disagree, but what if they were right? What would that mean? What would I try and do? And think about ways that you can improve. And when you're looking for a practice to work for, whether you're looking right now or you're a student, you will in the future, look for one that's going to invest time. Yes, financial investment is nice. Yes, you have to be able to, make a decent income. I'm not saying disregard the money, but once the money is at a point where you go, okay, that'll work, then I would strongly recommend look for the practices that are going to invest their time in you and get it in writing. Loads of people say, oh, we coach, we mentor, but find out, what does that mean? Does that mean one-to-one? Does that mean only everyone in the practice? Are they available at other times? How often are they going to meet you? How long are they going to meet you for each time? Are there other opportunities there? Really get that stuff in writing, because a practice that's serious about investing in you will be happy to really show off to you how much they're going to do that. A practice that doesn't do it, you're going to get some vague, waffly answers, and that should be a red flag, because if they cannot specify how they're going to invest their time and how much time they'll spend with you, best case scenario, they haven't thought about it, meaning they may not really know how to help a new graduate grow. And worst case scenario, it's because they don't want to. And, if you've already upskilled, you're just looking for an easy, cushy job to go there and do your 9 to 5, fine. Most people watching this, I know, aren't. So bear that in mind with clinic owner or an associate. And please, if you're a BCA member, do go and vote. Vote for all three of the categories there. Yes, I obviously am biased. I want you to vote for James or Vicky, but read the nominations for everybody. Vote for whoever you feel most deserves that. Vote for whichever clinic you feel most deserves that. Vote for whichever chiropractor you feel does as well, because there's some excellent candidates in all three categories there. Anyway, that's my brag. That's me going on a little bit too long in this video, but I wanted to make sure we got that in, and I'll see you soon for an email in a couple of days and some more news on this big project I've been planning. I know I've been dangling that for a while. It is coming up very soon, I promise. So keep an eye out for that, and I'll see you then.